Now on Palm Beach TV.
I've been fortunate enough to have known Tom for more than 30 years and to call him a friend.
The 2026 Community Service Award goes to a friend to many for outstanding service in the community.
The fact of the matter is, for 45 years, I've been answering the bell for breaking news. You know, hurricanes, school shootings, and, major interviews, and wars and conflicts.
NBC's Lester Holt shares his changing view of news as he downshifts the pace of his extraordinary career. Plus, a class with life-saving impact, empowering residents to take action in an emergency.
Those stories straight ahead.
The Palm Beach Civic Association brings you Palm Beach TV, the island's only newscast, sponsored by the Fortin Foundation of Florida. Now, the news.
Welcome to Palm Beach TV. I'm Sally Lewis. NBC's Lester Holt is in the spotlight for a different kind of story today. He's the keynote speaker at the Civic Association's annual Community Service Award breakfast.
With Lester Holt headlining this year's Community Service Award breakfast, the program opened with family, friends, and local dignitaries praising honoree Thomas Quick for his years of philanthropy.
Uncle Tommy is the quintessential Palm Beach gentleman, and I'm honored to call him a dear friend of mine.
The Von Hool family and Florida Crystals have sponsored the award breakfast since 2018.
Tommy, honestly, if you ChatGPT Tommy Quick, it will spit out, a person who helps people in great need, people who are going through difficult times. ChatGPT will say Tommy is a person who will help any friend who's trying to do better in life or help a great organization.
The Community Service Award is named for the late Bill Brooks, who passed away in 2010. Brooks was the general manager of WPTV News Channel 5, a former member and president of the Palm Beach Town Council. The award was presented by Civic Association Vice Chair Michelle Kessler.
Tom, you are one of a kind. There is no one like you. Please come forward to receive the Bill Brooks Award.
I chose to accept this award because I believe it can serve as a call to action, a signal to our new neighbors, and a reminder to the next generation that their involvement matters, their contributions matter, and that the mission of this association depends on the new voices stepping forward to participate, to give, and to lead. Palm Beach is a remarkable place, a community where civic engagement is not a slogan, it's a tradition, where neighbors show up, board members give their time, and philanthropy is understood not simply as generosity, but as a responsibility.
Tom Quick's award, very well deserved. I've known him a very long time. His speech was fantastic. Everybody agrees that Tom is quintessential Palm Beach.
There's a very wise friend of mine that said to me once, there are three parts to life: learn, earn, and return. And I can't think of anyone who has excelled more in the return department than Tommy Quick.
After honoring Quick, Civic Association CEO Mary Robison credited two additional very familiar names in Palm Beach for getting the yes from Lester Holt.
I would also like to extend our heartfelt thanks to our Chairman Emeritus Bob Wright and his lovely wife Susan, because it was Bob and Susan that placed the call to Lester. And I've learned over the years, certainly through Bob, that evidently when you get a call from Bob Wright, your answer is where and when. So Bob and Susan, we thank you so much for making today's program possible.
Holt was interviewed by Civic Association Chairman Michael Pasillo.
So Lester, when we first started chatting about this, you spent 10 years as the NBC anchor for the evening news. You mentioned that you left the evening news, you're now viewing the news as a consumer rather than as a provider of the news. Tell us a little bit about that and how that's affected your perspective, perhaps, on the news.
I'm still a nightly news junkie. I still watch, but I do watch as a consumer now of news, so I'm less, the more distance we put between the show and me, the more I'm able to stop looking at it through a technically critical eye and really look at it as viewers do. And suddenly things that people had told me over the years began to ring true. They would say, sometimes they would say, well, I don't watch, it's too scary, it's too depressing. And I would always kind of like, it's the news. But now that I'm home, there are some days, you turn on and you realize, I think I get it now,
Holt shared the challenges of delivering the news during COVID, not from the studio, but from his Manhattan condo.
There was one night, nothing was working, and I'm looking, it was just, and we're getting close to...
It's getting about 6:20.
Yeah, we're getting really
16
close.
16 million people out there.
Close to airtime. I'm literally on my hands and knees with a flashlight and my phone on FaceTime talking to the engineers. I'm getting upset. Like, look, it's not working, guys. We got to make a decision here. And anyway, I looked around the room and I thought, what's that switch? And, and it was just a light switch, but it was one of those. It was wired for a lamp, but instead they had wired our equipment into it. So I would go turn off the lights, click it, and boom, the whole thing would fall apart. But we had a couple of close calls like that.
With next-gen students from Dreyfus and Suncoast high schools in the audience, many wanted to know what advice he gives to aspiring journalists.
The advice I give people internally, especially young people, is I say, when you want to be the Swiss Army knife of your organization, and they kind of look at me and I'm like, Swiss Army knife, you get the spoon, the knife, the fork, all that stuff. I said, you want to be able to do a lot of things, and you want them to recognize you for being able to do a lot of things. That, she can do great feature stories, and he can do great political stories, or whatever it may be. It's a great way to get noticed in all the right ways.
When medical emergencies happen, knowing what to do is critical. That's why the Palm Beach Civic Association's Healthcare Committee partnered with Palm Beach Fire Rescue to offer a complimentary hands-on emergency procedures course. Residents learn about CPR, AEDs, and what to do if someone is choking. If you missed the class on February 4th, RSVP for the next one on March 4th. Class starts at 9:30 a.m. at the Mandel Rec Center. RSVP through the Rec Center by emailing recreation@townofpalmbeach.com. Learn more about all of the committee's community outreach at palmbeachcivic.org. As the March 10th municipal election approaches, make your plans to join the Civic Association for a candidates forum featuring the two candidates vying for the Group 1 seat, former Palm Beach Architectural Commissioner John David Corey and incumbent Lou Crampton. The forum will be moderated by Lynn University professor and former WPTV anchor Michael Williams. The forum will be held on Monday, February 23rd at 10 a.m. at Bethesda by the Sea. It's open to all Palm Beach residents. RSVP online at palmbeachcivic.org under Programs and Forums. As a reminder, the last day to register to vote in Palm Beach County is Monday, February 9th. The last day to request a vote by mail ballot is Thursday, February 26th at 5 p.m. Learn more at votepalmbeach.gov.
And that wraps up Palm Beach TV. Stay up to date with the island's only newscast at palmbeachcivic.org and through our social media. If you're not a member of the Palm Beach Civic Association, we invite you to join at palmbeachcivic.org and connect with our community. Until next time, thank you for watching.
Palm Beach TV is a production of the Palm Beach Civic Association. We thank our sponsor, the Fortin Foundation of Florida, and encourage you to let us know how we can further provide news coverage that best serves our members and residents.